Happy Thursday, Millbrook. This week marks the end of the season of Lent and the entry into Holy Week. This Sunday, beginning with what we call Palm Passion Sunday, we'll begin our worship service with Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, where they say, "Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord." And then by Thursday, those cries of Hosanna have turned into denial and betrayal. And by Friday, they have turned into crucify him. But by Sunday, they have turned into Hosanna and praise once again because Jesus has risen from the dead. So it's a lot happening in this week. So I wanted to take this moment to just pause at the end of this season of Lent and to remind us what we have been doing and where we are going. This Lent has been a little different at Millbrook because we are doing the Bible year. We have still been in the Hebrew scriptures, not in the stories of Jesus. But I want to remind us that it is all part of the same story. It is the same message and story from beginning to end. So we have been focusing on characteristics of some of the Hebrew scripture Bible heroes. Joshua's obedience. Well, if you think about obedience, Jesus was profoundly obedient, and that is nowhere more poignant than it is during Holy Week. He was obedient even to death on a cross. Rahab's boldness. Well, Jesus was profoundly bold. He stood in the face of the religious leaders and against the forces of evil and wickedness in this world and spoke the truth of God's redemption and of God's love. And he said things they didn't want to hear. He reached out and crossed every boundary. He touched the lepers and he healed on the Sabbath because he was bold in proclaiming and enacting the good news of God's liberation. Deborah's leadership. Jesus was an exemplar leader. He was both gentle and kind. He told stories. He engaged people with his teaching, but he showed them the way through his actions as well, through the healings, through all of the ways that he touched and spoke and acted towards those who were most in need of God's touch and of God's care. He broke laws. He was bold. Ruth and Naomi's loyalty. Jesus was loyal. He was loyal to those disciples who continued to get mixed up and confused and get it wrong. And he was loyal to them. He was loyal to his friends, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And he was loyal to God. And Samuel's attentiveness. Jesus was attentive. He was always listening to the voice of the Father. He took times away to pray and to hear. And we see all of this come together when he says, "Let this cup pass from me, but not my will be done, but yours." And in the end, that is what this journey of walking with Jesus is all about for all of us. It is about God's will being done in our lives. Through some of these characteristics and more: obedience, boldness, leadership, loyalty, and attentiveness. I hope you will join us for worship on Palm Passion Sunday, on Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Easter Sunday to live in the fullness of all of these stories and all of these examples of how we can live the same story and the same truth from beginning of the Bible until the end, from the beginning of humanity to the end, from the beginning of our lives and to the end. Let's walk with Jesus together.